told the guys, Pat and some guy says, well, why don't we call this guy Michael? He's a really good piano player and a wonderful singer. I think you'll like him.
One day I got a call from Jeff saying that Tommy had left the Doobie Brothers and that they were in the middle of a tour and were looking for somebody to, you know, kind of step in, basically as a sideman, not really to fill Tommy's shoes, but just somebody who could sing backgrounds.
Voice and his piano style caught on, and that's all you heard for a couple years on everybody's records.
Had any idea that his input would be that great at the time. I don't even think Michael knew that he'd have that much influence on the band. Taking It to the Streets was the album that we were working on at that time, and that was a major transition for the band sound-wise.
You know, I think I was expecting at any time to be laid off, you know, but through the encouragement of Tyran and Teddy and Pat, I just kind of, like I say, got more and more ingrained in the band, and part of the writing, just like a dream come true. You know, I got to play with a really great band, a popular band, and record my own material. I thought I died and went to heaven.
A guy named Marty Wolf, who was the Doobie Brothers lighting designer. Marty asked me if I might want to go on the road as a lighting roadie, you know, humping cable. And I said, okay. During like sound checks and stuff, I would play. If the band wasn't there, I'd play congas. But anyway, at one point, Patrick said, how would you like to play on our next record, which was Takin.
The next album was almost a nightmare by comparison, because not even having expected the first album to be released, then all of a sudden I found myself in a situation with what do we do now? You know? And I hadn't written any songs in 2 years when we did Takin' to the Streets, so needless to say, I didn't have any material in the vaults. So, and then, you know, Livin' on the Fault Line didn't do as well. So, in a lot of ways, there was a lot of stress involved with Living on the Fault Line that I didn't remember feeling with Takin' to the Streets.
Well, I hear your voice, everywhere. Of love, making me look back over my shoulder. Echoes of love, I'm starting all over. Echoes of love, keeps on haunting, out of control. Keeps on burning, echoes of love are out of control. Bringing back clouds of love, keeps on haunting, out of control.
The style of the band had been sort of a hard country-ish, folkish rock at the time I joined, up until the time that Tommy left. And when Mike joined, it went to being more of a rock and soul band. And the big change for me was a broadening of the chordal scope of the band. I was able to work with more harmonically interesting chord progressions, which, as a bass player, I was real happy to do.
It's been 14 years now for us that we've been going back every Christmas to perform for the kids at the Children's Hospital at Stanford. We go there every December and do a little holiday concert for the kids and try to lift their spirits, and I think it lifts our spirits.
I don't need this love. I don't need your hand. I know I could turn, blink and you'd be gone. I must be prepared anytime to carry on. 'Cause minute by minute by minute by minute, I'll be holding on. I'll be holding on. Oh yes I will. Minute by minute by minute by minute, I'll be holding on. You would stay just to watch me, darling. Wilt away all lies from you. Can't stop the habit of living on the run. Take it all for granted, like you're the only one. Living on my own, somehow that sounds nice. You think I'm your fool, well you may just be right. 'Cause minute by minute by minute by minute, I'll be holding on now. I'll be holding on. Oh yes I will. Minute by minute by minute by minute, I'll be holding on now. I'll be holding on. Call my name and I'll be gone. You reach out and I won't be back.
The success of Minute by Minute was a shock. You know, I played it for a friend who was a mutual friend of everybody in the bands, and a good friend, and the guy didn't pull a lot of punches. You know, he said, you know, I don't think so. You know, it just doesn't, you know, have it.
It's funny, the attitude towards some of the powers that were told us that the record was the worst record the band had ever recorded, which I always thought was interesting. There was a lot of work that went into it, and Michael really had a chance to really shine.
I remember we cut What a Fool Believes. We had 24-track tape, 2-inch tape, piled to the ceiling on one song. You know, I mean, we cut easily 20 tracks of What a Fool Believes.
She came from somewhere back in the long ago. The sentimental movement, she trying hard to recreate what had yet to be created. Once in her life.
You know, Teddy, once again, you know, being Teddy, remembered like track 3, take 3, take 15, and take 18, and this all going on while the rest of us were just at each other's throats, you know, completely frustrated, thinking that, you know, this song should sound good, and it sounds like crap, and there's nothing we can do about it. You know, Teddy was always a step ahead of us, kind of, and it was, well, look, you guys, don't worry about it, I'll cut the bridge and chorus of take 5 with take 15, with the, you know, and right on the spot, he would cut the 2-inch tape together, you know, and then literally the tape came alive.
Song of the year is... Woo! What a Fool Believes!
In 1979, I decided to give notice to the band.
I finally got to the point where I lost myself. I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing. I just got lost.
Caught me totally by surprise. I was sitting here in LA doing sessions, TV dates, record dates, a lot of demo dates, and I got a call just out of the blue from a fellow musician who I hadn't talked to in a few years. And he told me that the Doobies were looking for a drummer, and Michael McDonald had mentioned my name, and Michael was looking for me. And I auditioned, and you know, got a call a few days later and says, "Get your butt up here. You want to go on the road?" In fact, Simmons called me, and that was his comment. He said, "Hey, man, you want to go on the road?" And I said, "Sure."
Jeff had left the band, you know, shortly before that, and I found out about it through a roundabout way because my wife happened to be talking to Keith's wife on the phone, and she mentioned, yeah, the guys are looking for another guitar player within a couple of days of that. And anyway, that's how I came into the scene.
I got a call one day in '79 from a friend of mine, good friend of mine, who's also a friend of Pat's. And he said, "Pat, looking for you, wants you to call." And, you know, so I called, and he said, "You want to come up and jam tomorrow?" So I came up, went up to the rehearsal. And after rehearsal, he said, "Can you come back tomorrow?" You know, so I went back the next day, and they said, "Can you go out on the road?" You know, and that was it.
One Step Closer was our last hurrah, you know, as the Doobie Brothers. And probably as far away from the original Doobie Brothers as the band ever got, musically and style-wise, stylistically. I think it was a good album. It had some good songs on it. And, but I think that was the beginning of the end, really, for the band. Right in the middle of the album, Tyran quit the band.
Willie was the first guy that we all thought of, and I think we all thought of him at the same time. It was just like, well, we need a bass player. Who should we get? Willie Weeks. Bam.
It just went right into a nice thing. The groove was nice, and the guys were good to work with, and everything just gelled right from the beginning.
Us all, when we got together to rehearse for a tour, presumably, and we were on stage playing, and you know, it just, at that point, it couldn't have gotten farther away from the Doobie Brothers if we tried. You know, I don't think that anything we were doing or any concept that we could come up with at that time really could legitimately be called the Doobie Brothers anymore. And after much discussion, we all kind of decided that was it.
If we were going to stop, that it would be, we should go out and do a short tour just to kind of let people know what we were doing and to go out with a bang, you know, as opposed to just fizzling.